Hi there and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I just finished up my first trimester. For those of y'all that haven't already watched my pregnancy reveal, I do have that already uploaded, the one that I did to my husband. But I decided I wanted to be a little lazy, wear my big old sweatshirt today while I'm running around the house and cooking dinner and all of that fun stuff. I kind of wanted to give y'all an update on how my first trimester went and what my symptoms were and how I felt. I will let you know that as everyone has been stating about moving into the second trimester, is that you start feeling so much better, and I already am. I feel like I'm getting my energy back. I actually want to clean and get out of bed a lot of the time, which is something that was not happening. I am currently at 15 weeks and I'm not showing yet. So just for reference, I am wearing shorts. For reference, this is how my stomach looks. Still very flat. I haven't seen anything. I haven't felt any movement. So hopefully soon that'll be something that I will see. I'm going to get my laptop out and just kind of go down the list of things that I wrote down just to, I don't know, like give myself something to read off of as my body has been changing and my whole perception on life has been changing, really. First of all, I'm really excited to welcome our new baby. We're still not sure what they are, but we do know that their due date is November 21st, and they have had a heart rate around 140 to 145 beats per minute per each appointment I've gone to. The first thing that I've been asked by a bunch of people is how I told my husband. And if you haven't watched that video already, that is already linked within my profile under Becoming a Mom. So if you want to go watch that video, please do. It's definitely something that I'm gonna cherish, and I'm glad I was able to capture that on camera. I also did a reveal to our family and friends, and what I did was I put a box together that also had clothes, and for my mom I put first grandbaby coming November 2023, and then same thing for my grandparents and my husband's parents, and so on. Another question that I've been asked is, was this pregnancy planned or not? And my answer to that is yes. Since I'm a golf coach, I kind of wanted to plan our having a baby whenever I'm out of golf season, because I've had a lot of teachers tell me, oh, you did it at the wrong time, like why are you pregnant now? You should have planned to have your baby at the end of April, that way that you could just feed into the summer. And the thing is that if I were to push my pregnancy to then, I would have been like a big pregnant lady at the district golf tournaments and at the end of the year when my kids were trying to take their AP tests. So I was just like, no, I would actually rather have a baby in the fall or winter. That way I could be finishing up with the winter golf season and be back by the time spring golf season starts picking up. So like I said, November 21st honestly ended up being exactly when I wanted it. I'm not gonna go into super big detail here, but my husband and I did track my ovulation. We're not planning for it to happen this quick, but I am happy that it did. Honestly, I think it's perfect time. So next thing, our first doctor's appointment. Whenever we went in for my first doctor's appointment, I actually thought that I was 9 weeks pregnant already, because I had been working out a lot, and I think that it caused my cycle to be off. Based on whenever you get pregnant, you look at the first day of your last missed period. So I was going off of that day, just like everyone had told me, every doctor had told me. And when I went in and I had the ultrasound and they measured the baby, turns out I'm only 7 weeks along. My cycle was just totally off. We didn't go off of my last cycle. It was definitely a little different. So I came in thinking that I was 9 weeks pregnant, and I left knowing that I was now regressed back to 7 weeks. I was like, no. Something else I want to say is that, at least with my experience at my first appointment, it was not as, I guess, emotional and romanticized as they try to make it out in the movies. Me and my husband didn't sit there and cry while looking at the ultrasound. It was emotional, but it was like, my doctor was just very straightforward. He was getting the ultrasound. He's like, okay, there's your baby. This is what they look like. And we listened to the heartbeat for a few seconds. and my husband was not sitting right next to me. He was actually sitting like clear across the room. So it just, I don't know, it wasn't as romanticized as typical. I was planning on crying, I did not cry. It was really cool to actually know that there's a baby in there, especially in your first trimester. I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate that you don't feel pregnant, and minus all of the symptoms that you're having, you don't feel like you actually have a baby. The very first symptom that I noticed was extreme exhaustion. And I am someone that loves to work, that is nonstop, never stops. And I felt like I hit a brick wall. And this, I felt, was really discouraging and upsetting to me because I felt like I couldn't get as much stuff done as I typically do. I mean, personally, I get up, I go to the gym, I go to work all day, I get home at like 6:30 or 7 after golf practice, after being out there for hours, and then we'll cook dinner, and I'll stay up editing photos for my photography business or prepping stuff for the Airbnb business. And right when I got home, I wanted to go to sleep. I didn't want to cook dinner, I didn't want to clean the dishes, and I was just a mess. And I've always had issues with falling asleep. Ever since I've been pregnant, no issues falling asleep. I'm so dead tired that it doesn't matter. I hit the pillow and I'm done. Around week 8 is when I started feeling sick. And the thing that I got lucky with is, I mean, I guess I technically did have morning sickness because I felt nauseous in the mornings. I didn't want to eat anything. Definitely could not take my prenatals in the morning. The only thing I could do is drink water. The thing that I got lucky with is I never puked. I never puked at all during my first trimester. So I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that I have already gotten past all the main nausea until I get into the third trimester. After that, week 8 is when I got sick, and I thought that I had severe allergies or even the flu. And I was actually at the regional golf tournament down in McAllen, Texas, and I just felt horrendous. I lost my voice, and I felt so upset because I wasn't even able to like effectively communicate with my golfers while they were participating in like the biggest tournament of the year. And even on the first day, my assistant coach had to take over, and I had to go lay back down in my hotel room because I'm pretty sure I had a high fever, and I was taking all these allergy meds just thinking like, oh, maybe it's like the change in the season or the rain. I didn't get over it for over 3 weeks. I felt horrible just about the entire time, and I ended up going to one of my second doctor's appointment for baby, and they told me what I could take. They told me I could take Mucinex, I could take Benadryl and all that stuff, but aside from that, they didn't think it was as serious for me to take anything that was gonna be prescribed. So I started taking Mucinex, and I also started taking Flonase like they said I could, and I had already been taking Benadryl. And I started feeling a little bit better, but I still think that I had the flu. And the reason for that is because I haven't gotten the flu shot since I was like 16 years old. And that's because my family carries the type 1 diabetes autoimmune antibody, and I'm one of the ones that had it. And the thing is that if you get vaccinations, it could actually jumpstart like developing diabetes. But also if you get really sick, it could also jumpstart diabetes. So it's just kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, are you more willing to get the flu, or are you more willing and get diabetes, or not get the vaccine and just like fingers crossed you don't get the flu? And this is the first time I've ever had the flu, if that was what it was, but it did not feel good during my first trimester, I'll tell you that. And I know that my body and my immune system was just not in the best state it could have been. So I definitely, it hit me way harder than I would have ever expected. I also stopped going to the gym whenever I was feeling bad, because I mean, obviously whenever you have like all that congestion, you feel worse in the mornings. So I stopped going to the gym, and that just kind of discouraged me and made me feel really bad about myself. I wasn't eating as much, so I actually never saw an increase or even really a decrease in my weight. Whenever I went to my first doctor's appointment at 7 weeks, I weighed 147, and I still weigh 147 or like 146. Like I haven't really lost or gained any weight. One of the worst things, and this has continued until now, where I am right now in my pregnancy, and that is opening up the refrigerator or smelling a trash can. It's something I can't do. Like when I open up the refrigerator, I have to like hold my breath. I'm like holding my breath, opening up the refrigerator, and I still end up gagging or dry heaving. And it's really funny to me that I haven't puked at all, but that's just what sets me off right there. And then same thing with the trash can. Like I can smell it from further distances than typically. Like even if it's not full, even if it doesn't have anything gross in it, I'm still like, oh, what is that? And my husband has like these vitamins that he takes that for some reason, they never smelled to me before, but now I think they smell like pee. So I came home the other day and our dog is allowed to be free in the house. And I was like, oh my God, Bolt peed. But then I realized my husband was carrying his vitamins and I'm like, oh, I was like, your vitamins smell like urine to me. Like I can't deal with it. So the sense of smell is wild. Also, me being around other people's babies, for some reason the smell is like just so gross to me. And I mean, I love babies, I love holding babies, but like the smell of like wipes and baby food and like all the things that are associated with babies, for some reason I cannot deal with it right now. So we'll see what happens when baby is actually born and I'm acclimated to their natural smells and all the baby smells that come along with having a baby. I've been asked about genetic testing and chromosomal abnormalities, and yes, I already actually had that test done a few weeks ago, and my friends actually received the gender results, and I'm just awaiting for the gender reveal party to happen now, so excited to see what baby is. I also did test for chromosomal abnormalities because I would like to be aware of what baby could potentially have, and at this point everything is low risk. And I also had my blood test to make sure I was all set, and I didn't have any red flags pop up. So far, so good. Healthy pregnancy. My friends know what baby is, and I'm so excited to see. Oh, I can't wait. That is coming up soon. Whenever it comes to gender, yes, we are gonna have a gender reveal party, and I will definitely be recording or have someone else recording the gender reveal, and I will tell y'all a lot more about that as we get closer to that point. Plans for delivery and costs. I have actually gotten this more so asked by my students because I have so many people that tell me delivering a baby is $30,000 or something crazy. And you know what, I was like, okay, well now that I'm actually having a baby, let me see how much it's gonna cost in the state of Texas with my insurance. So I got my bill and I'm paying it over time. That way baby is all paid for before I even think about going to the hospital. I think I'm gonna be fully paid off by August. So I'll have like 3 months remaining of, honestly, like 2 months remaining of my pregnancy by the time I already have the delivery paid off. But on my form, it's around $10,000 for the actual regular delivery, no C-section with an epidural. With my insurance actually covers 70% of that cost, so it's just around $3,000 that I'm paying to deliver. Now, I have heard horror stories about the hospital charging you for your first touch and whether the baby stays in the room with you or whenever they go to weigh the baby. So I will definitely keep y'all updated on whatever bill I end up getting after I leave the hospital, if I do, because my doctor told me that this is the bill. Now, he also said this is the bill unless you have a C-section. So having a C-section is an additional $1,000. And I think that if I have a C-section, my insurance will cover an additional portion compared to what it's already covering. So I will keep you all updated with that right now. So it looks like I'm paying roughly $3,000 for my birth unless there are any sort of complications. So I will keep you all updated as we continue. What to expect on my channel. Now, I do not plan on switching just over to baby and just over to being a mom. I have so many other things that are going on in my life that there's no way I could just switch over to just mom. Now, if you're pregnant or if you're wanting to be pregnant soon, I'm sure you know how it feels to be so excited about having a baby, and I'm excited. I'm excited to decorate the nursery and paint the walls and bring in the furniture, and I will definitely be sharing all of that as I continue throughout this pregnancy and as baby is born. But I still am gonna be sharing my decluttering videos and my Airbnb stuff and financial stuff and photography, so don't you worry. All of my other stuff isn't just going out the door. Like, I'm going to have plenty of things to talk to y'all about and share with y'all. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, as always, but I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye.